Hello there, Taurus. Welcome to my channel, Joy to the World. I am your reader, Melissa Joy. And because of my recording order, there's still another video coming out for you guys. So hopefully there was a great response to the last one because it was talking about reciprocation. That's called a relationship in the modern world. Okay, it's a two-way street. It's moving both ways and it's easy to navigate. It opens up so many more possibilities in life than just the one-way street, okay? And as you know, one-way streets are usually in a downtown where there's business, where there's commerce, and there's not true love, life, and living, okay? So this week's theme is about bear spirit and healing coming in. No longer the perpetual winter, you being united with your true self and having the choice and the option point to begin to spiral out of just the zodiac, out of those things that are limited, things saying, oh, this is my identity, that is my identity, this is how it works, that's how it works. There's a hint of wanting to show you a whole new world. A level of happiness you haven't ever even perceived, did not even know the pulse of in your world, in your life, but it is individual to you because happiness is like your fingerprint, like your DNA. It is specifically who you are. So for many of you, there's a piece and a portion of yourself, a self that is coming forward that has never been known before, okay? Now, scientifically, that would be true for us all, but this is talking about like the family line coming out of karma. Somebody, the whole family is being liberated, not just the individual. Because wolf spirit was showing up in the what's that called? Shuffling of these cards. And it was talking about family. And so some of you have like these shocking eye-opening epiphanies coming on in. It's been coming in, chasing you down because you might be sort of locked out, still wandering around, wondering when is it going to happen for you. Have you done something wrong? Is there something wrong with you? Is it, you know, pray, connect, work, do, okay? A lot of activity, more than just action coming in. But through it all, you've held on to yourself, but barely. Just a little scree right there, okay? And this is coming in as the background support for this card. And it's talking about a total turnaround of things coming together and working for you, bringing in that dynamic power of like the eternal flame, and which is our being in love with ourselves, connected to the love self of us, the one that has the power, the permission, and the keys. Okay, friend. Well, let's see what's going on with that. Okay. I grabbed some state, and this is what showed up. Happy family. Many of you have been the black sheep who bore a heavy burden and for a long time. And that's why you've hoped for your family to be whole, to be well, to be loved by them. Not just like, oh, I hope they love me, like making the conscious choice not to lose your shiz around them like people did on you, or maybe to not pass the buck, pass the blame, ignore, reject, all these different things that you might have struggled with or suffered under growing up yourself. So you made that conscious effort, it's obvious. But now it's time for your happiness and your pure magic happiness, the love of life happiness, and not having to go around the merry-go-round, around the hamster wheel, around the mulberry bush one more time. That's karma. It's like, let me glean back through and make sure I got everything. When you move forward, your whole family can move forward. When you move into the blessing, my friend, they do too, okay? Because if you are that black sheep, the curer of the karma, oh, chameleon. Remember how I told you 3 remained down there? Blossoming, abundance, man holding a heart, and carrying connections. That's being supported, friend, man or woman. Let's not look at this. This person in front is you, whoever's tuning in. This is about having life support without having to be on life support. That system, some machine working for you. Know your nature coming forward and being supported for who you are, right? The who, not the do. So maybe cut down a little bit on some of all that activity going on and get more in the action, okay? And then the rest, the action and the rest. And that brings in this, they're saying abundant, blossoming abundance. Woo, you got it up in there because you got the cosmic green all going on. That's fantastic. And this is showing hints of the temple path, like the spiritual path that you've been following for maybe your birth line, your whole birth time. That birth chart that you came in with, for some reason, there was a period of time very close together where people were buying me readings for my birthday. It was strange. I didn't ask for it. I knew nothing about astrology. I mean, I was aware of it, but I'm like, what's your horizon? I don't know. Anyways, so both in Western and in astrology, I'll just call it Eastern. The name is slipping my mind right now, but you know which one I'm talking about, Vedic. Both people that read it were like, oh my God, I wouldn't want to be her. So you might have had one of those charts. And if you let the chart keep playing out, it could pimp slap you and knock you down, okay? But instead, you've turned around and you've allowed them to be assets coming towards you, and you're bringing your sun with you, awakening and rising up like the black hole sun effect. But this is a sunflower. And what this is telling me right now is I'm looking at that sunflower, they follow the sun. They follow you. So, all this happiness that you're seeking follows your lead. Not like, let me be the perfect example. Let me live, and it's going to follow my lead. So as you begin to live, it's like it cracks the door open to spirit and allows that life to just flume and funnel in. So that would be feeding off of the previous week's read about miracles. Miracles and then healing. That's a nice way to go, because miracles are works of instantaneous power. Like just in the course of a few moments or a few days, everything turns around, okay? Now healing is the restoration process, the cleanup process, the rebuilding process. And not just the boring, nasty one, the one that's like, oh, get this all cleaned up. We're going to have a party. You see what I'm saying? Having a good old time there. Now there seems to be a bit of a love note in the air on this card. Just one little area of leaves that hasn't quite totally made the turn just yet. So a couple of leaves, a couple of weeks. Okay. Yeah, so this is has a timeline in it for you guys. From the time you ever hear this, these are all timeless. But within a few weeks, you're going to see these things turning around. It's just going to come to you out of the blue. And it's almost like, say you were driving from an arid region to a lush region. And you're driving along, and you might be speeding down the interstate, and you start noticing the scenery changing around you. Going from brown, dry, desolate, okay, hard-packed, into this luscious, the green, and you start noticing the birds flying overhead. You start hearing the sounds of creatures living out there. You might even see some water. Do you see what I'm saying? Your environment is transforming as you keep walking forward. The happiness and the magic has already occurred. It's who you are. This is how you were born. This is who you are, okay? And this is like your choice, your power to turn around. It's almost like when somebody has you blindfolded and they have you walking forward, and then they stop you and they step back and they say, turn around. So in this case, it's not like you have to go all the way back that way. As you turn around, you are able to face yourself, and this abundant blessing, all these, receive all the blessings and the prayers that you've laid the foundation of for years. And prayers can be more than just words, friend. It is the actions that you take towards the change that you wish to see in the world. Really strange that wind coming in is sounding like a fan was turned on. Feels fantastic. Hopefully it's not muffling you guys too much. Hang on. It's gonna go wonky for a second. Just be patient, okay? There we go. All right. Hopefully that little muffler there works. So let's get a couple of nature support in to just give us the little road out of the surprise coming towards you. All that you, oh my God, I totally lost a card down the crack. Are you kidding me? Okay, I'll be back. Okay, so that was a wee bit sad. I have this yoga mat and everything out, and I'm shuffling it. It literally goes down a crack. It's about that big. My favorite deck. My favorite deck. Can I tell you what card is? No, because when it surfaced out from under this boat deck thing that I'm on, it was face down. So this is all I could see. And by the time it appeared, I waited and went to check all four sides. And by the time it appeared, it was almost out of reach. And all I had was the paddle to grab it, because the alligator's been all around here this morning. So I wasn't getting in, not for a card. And it was face down. And I was like, okay, can I reach? I couldn't even reach it with my feet. So I was like, all right, I'm going to guide it around towards the steps, which is a long distance. And then I got out on the front area, and it was so hot. It was burning my feet. So I start trying to rush it, right? And the thing gets just a little water on top, and it buries itself. You know, the mystery will be solved if I choose to go through it and find out what all they are. But, man, love that tech. So, make the best out of this that you can, all right? This is like beginning to start the magic again. Maybe when you've been a bit weary, a bit tired, a bit lost, a bit frustrated, you know, and you don't see all the evidence of what you've already prayed for and looked for. And there was a strong inkling before I turned the camera on to let you know about the Scorpio moon that we had in May. That's the loop and the knot that's being tied up in a pretty little bow and finished for now. And so keep moving forward in faith, because it's talking about the Big Dipper effect, that half the year it's pretty much being filled up, and then the other half it starts tipping over and pouring out. So 6 months, kind of like people do moon ceremonies from new to full. This is like seed time and harvest. So for 6 months, you're sowing seed out of your mouth, out of your life, out of your expression, out of your self-control. And that doesn't mean dominating yourself. That means making the decisions, shifting your attitude and your feelings towards yourself to move in the direction that you desire, okay? So you had a double winter card coming out that a lot of what you long for with your family will be highly evident once winter rolls around. There are things already occurring, but you need to turn around to see it, okay? So we're in that bit of the loop back and turning around. We're more than halfway through the year. So we're coming around this bend. Let's see what's going to cut on. But that's the Jupiter and the Sun energy merging together. And it's like, even though you're tired, even though you tried 1,000 times, even though, get up one more time, my friend. Ooh, if that's you, oh, I can relate. We may not have the same story or the same trials, but the level of that devil, ooh, yeah, Get up one more time, because this is the one that matters. This is the one where that magic begins to cut on. And this is like the force of life, the force of nature, unseen forces like human beings being kind to you. I mean, the other day before I left here, I had left to come here. I had the hood up in my car, and a neighbor started to stop and chat with me. She stopped and began chatting with me. And I had 3 separate people pull up to see if I needed help. They're like, this is the universal sign. And that was unfamiliar to me. And I was like, wow, I celebrate that. Even though all I did do was check the oil, because the things I needed repairing, it's not like they were mechanics, you know. But one of them said, I do mechanical work. If you need me, just let me know. I'm like, okay. So that's the magic that's cutting on. It's your lineage, and it's moving from the wolf into the bear. It's moving into the birthright. See, the wolf, when it's showing up here, it's talking a lot about Chiron. It's really merging from the wolf into like a grizzly bear, which is very much wintertime as well. And ooh, just like you, that sweet little golden sun bear going, that's the wound in our chart. That's the thing where, like, Chiron was rejected by his mother. We're talking about the soft side of our body, our potential, our openness, our receptivity. And maybe that's why they're telling you to turn around. Maybe you had a hard life. You bore a lot of things on your back and on your shoulders. It could be work, and it could also be chips. All right? It's time to get some of those chips off the shoulder, turn around, and just let life blast them off of you. Okay? So that's what we were doing when one of those things sailed away. Was the Magician, about this turnaround, what you see when you turn around. Y'all, I'm super protective now. How it flew over there. The sun. That's a lot of power, friends. The Magician and the sun. And whatever needed to go down to be sowed as a seed to show back up in the wintertime, right? There's a reason. There's a reason that mystery is left hanging there. Maybe that is the catalyst, that bit of wondering that brings you to your knees, not down to them, but up to them, to rise again and try one more time in love. And this isn't just smushy, lovey love. This is like the endearment. This can even be like sibling. This can be all those things where it's anything where you have fondness of heart. It could even be like old passions that you had that you lost the taste for, you lost the interest in, you look at it and you're like, whether it's physical activities or whether it's art, creativity, or music or something. That thing that fizzled and moved on out is a lot of what this is talking about too. And that can involve people as well. You got me? But you need to know the whole big scope of it so that you're not limited to just one little wedge when you have the whole kitchen, my friend. You want all this, remember, abundant, blossoming abundance. So this cosmic green is the color of heaven on earth when it has merged. When we've gone, you know, through the nodes and the red magic and the white magic to get to the green. And red magic is the blood, sweat, and tears, the hard effort. The white magic, hopes, dreams, and fears, the prayer, you know, the heaven and the earth coming together. They meet and they make green. They make that cosmic green. They make this abounding cosmic abundance, which must mean you're witnessing it and it's coming to life. Okay. Quantum physics, friend. As it is witnessed, it becomes real. It comes to life. So ask yourself, your soul, to pick up and to witness anything with power and magic that is occurring in your life that is giving you a spark of hope. Also, any radiance and knowingness of yourself, of being positioned in the right environment, right place, right time. You could go ahead and give thanks for those. Some of you, it might be the start of some sort of speaking engagement. But, okay, I got you. They're talking about let go of who you were. That's why this is about out of your grip. Not everybody gets to become a whole new entire being, not out of force. That's the true caterpillar to butterfly. I love that we use that analogy for so many people, but they're talking literally. They're saying, imagine that you went from human to angel, but yet you were here on earth. Superhuman, right? Okay? That knowledge, that wisdom, that understanding, that receiving on the wind, the instinct, the intellect, intelligence, cutting on and guiding you. Powerful stuff. But that's what they were talking, some of you becoming a whole entire new being. And that would make sense because it's heavy on the whole. W-H-O-L-E, not the old H-O-L-E, right? Like that black hole sun. Imagine that as the sunflower looks at you, you're the ball of light that goes boom, and fills that black hole. Interesting. Interesting. Very powerful stuff. I will splice this thing back together and get it rolling out to you guys so you can enjoy it. Hopefully you've enjoyed the sounds of nature around me here at this lake St. John, something like that. Like I said, I'm not from here, but when I said going back home, I haven't traveled this way to see my parents since 2019. Anyways, I had a lot of things happening, and so there's this big turnaround, friends. Stepping forward into life, into health, into the support of life, right? Facilitating your health. And it cannot facilitate your health without facilitating your wealth. That just needs to be said there. So when you're working along with your ease and your flow, your wealth is going to easily flow also. That's wise, my friend. Hey, while you're here, click that subscribe button for me. Help me rise up to the top. And you can join my channel if you enjoyed this. And make sure we chat in those comments down below, Taurus. I'd love to keep bringing forward powerful messages for you if they're making a difference in your life. All right, until then, love you.